So before getting into the katha, we will be reciting one important or it's very powerful prayer. It's called Narasimha Kavacham. So what Kavach does is it actually creates a shield around us to protect us from different kind of problems or the sufferings which are yet to come or is coming. It creates a shield. So let's chant this prayer. Those of you who are in the ISKCON Bournemouth WhatsApp group must have received this prayer. If you are not there, maybe you can just meditate on the... So we will be singing this together. If the pronunciation is too tough, let's just close our eyes and meditate on the prayer. Narasimha Kavacham Vakshe Prahlādeno Ditam Pura Sarvaraksha-karam punyam Sarvopadravanashanam Sarvasampatkaram chaiva Swargamoksha pradayakam Dhyatva Narasimham Devesham Hemasimhanasanam sthitam Vivratasyam trinayanam Sharadindu samaprabham Lakshmyalingitavamangam Vibhuti bhirupashritam Chaturbhujam komalangam Swarnakundala shobhitam Saroja shobhito raskam Ratnakeyuramudritam Tapta kanchana sankasham Pita nirmala vasasam Indradi suramaulistha Spurunmarikya diptivi Virajita padatvantam Shankha chakradi hetivi Garudmata cha vinyata Stuyamanam mudanvitam Surata kamala samvasam Kritva tu kavacham pathe Narasimho me shira patu Lokarakshat sambhava Swargopi stambhavasa Bhalam me rakshatu dhvanim Narasimho me drisha patu Soma surya virochana Smritim me patu narhari Munivarya stuti priya Nasam me simhanasastu Mukham lakshmi mukha priya Sarva vidhyadhipa patu Narasimho rasanamaha Vaktram patu bindu vadanam Sada Prahlāda vandita Narasimha patu me kantham Skando bhuvaran krita Divyastra shobhita bhujau Narasimha patu me bhujau Karo me deva vardau Narasimha patu sarvata Hridayam yogi sadhyaksha Nivasam patu me hari Madhyam patu hiranyavaksha Vaksha kukshi vidarana Nabhi me patu narhari Swanabhi brahma samstuta Brahmanda kotaya katyam Yasya sampatu me katim Guhyam me patu guhyana Mantranam guhyarupadrik Uru manobhava patu Januni narupadrik Jambhe patu dhara bhara Hartayo saurake sari Surajya prada patu Padau me naharishwara Sahasra shirsha purusha Patu me sarvashastanu Mahogra purvata patu Mahavira grajovita महाविष्णुर्दक्षिणे तु महाज्वालस्तु नैऋतौ पश्चिमे पाति सर्वेषु दिशि मे सर्वतोमुखः नरसिंहः पातु वायव्यां सौम्यां भीषणवेगः ईशान्यां पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायकः संसारभयता पातु मृत्युर्नृकेसरी इदं नरसिंहकवचं प्रह्लादमुखमण्डितं भक्तिमान्या पठे नित्यं सर्वपापे प्रमुच्यते गर्जन्तं गर्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं घटन्तं रूप्यन्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुवि दिजितं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं भरन्तं विशन्तं पूर्णयन्तं शरनिकर्षते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि गर्जन्तं गर्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं हटन्तं रूप्यन्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुवि दिजितं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं भरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं शरनिकर्षते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि गर्जन्तं गर्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं हटन्तं रूप्यन्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुवि दिजितं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं भरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं शरनिकर्षते दिव्यसिंहं नमामि ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी व्रतचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे So many of us already know the pastime of Lord Narasimha Dev, how Lord Narasimha Dev appeared. But let's meditate. It's a very beautiful and powerful pastime of how Lord Narasimha Dev appeared and why he appeared. But in that section, in that big pastime, there comes a section where Prahlāda Mahārāja offers prayer to Lord Narasimha Dev. And that is said to be the most beautiful part of this pastime. So today we will meditate more on the prayers of Prahlāda Mahārāja But to reach there, we will meditate first on the pastime. So Lord Narasimha Dev is a ferocious form of Krishna. And why he came is because once there was a demon called Hiranyakashipu, and he was envious with Lord Vishnu because his brother Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord Vishnu. And he was determined to take the revenge, and he underwent a lot of austerity, a big tapasya, just to get the benediction so that he can become immortal and he can kill um, all the saintly people and eventually even Lord Vishnu. That was his desire. So he went for the great austerities, and while meditating, that time his wife was pregnant with child, and at that time, by destiny, she came in association of Narad Muni. Narad Muni is called to be the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu. And it is said, whoever a pure devotee touches, that person is bound to become a devotee. So it is very important to seek association of that devotee in our life. So when this wife of Hiranyakashipu, her name was Kayadu, she was every day listening from Narad Muni. However, she was not very much interested and she used to fall asleep. But Prahlāda Maharaj was in the womb and he was listening to all the pastimes of Lord Vishnu every day. So because of that, Prahlāda Maharaj within the womb, he became a pure devotee of Krishna. Now it was the time when Hiranyakashipu's austerities were over and he was back. And it was the first time he was seeing his child, and he thought it will be a good exchange he will have with him. But to his surprise, his child was a pure devotee of Lord Vishnu. Hiranyakashipu asked him so many questions, and he thought that my child will praise me, will talk of me, but he was only talking of Lord Vishnu. And because of this, Hiranyakashipu was shocked, and then he asked his guru's sons to take care of his son, teach him, preach him in a nice philosophy of demoniac ways. And who is the Supreme Lord? It's Hiranyakashipu. That should be the message. It should go in the head of child. So he underwent a very good training. But instead of getting trained, he trained all the devotees or all the demon children there and he made them devotees. Now it was the time when Prahlāda Maharaj came back and Hiranyakashipu again asked that who is the Supreme Lord? And Prahlāda Maharaj said it's Vishnu. And now it was time, because of course he was a demon. His fatherly propensities now went down and the demon came up. And he was persistent that either you have to accept me as God, otherwise I will kill you. But Prahlāda Maharaj was not affected by anything because for him it was Krishna and Krishna was always protecting him. So he gave many instructions, actually different ways he tried to kill his son. And what not was done, he was thrown from a cliff, he was thrown in a well of snakes, he was set on a fire, many weapons were used to kill him, he was poisoned, but nothing could harm him. But one day when Hiranyakashipu lost all the patience, he was so frustrated, because it says that when our desires are not fulfilled, it gives rise to the frustration, and frustration eventually becomes anger, and anger becomes rage. So he was now furious, and this was the time he challenged his son that you keep on saying Krishna or Vishnu everywhere. Where is your Vishnu? Today I'm going to kill you. Is your Vishnu going to protect you? Prahlāda said, yes, my Vishnu is here. And he asked, where is your Vishnu? Is he here? Is he there? And he pointed in all directions. At the end, he pointed at one big pillar of his palace. Now, this pillar is not a small pillar, actually. If some of you have been to the place called as Ahobilam, this is the place where this pastime took place. And it's on a big mountain, and still there are some rocks, and one rock is said to be the pillar. It's that huge. So he said, is your Vishnu in this pillar? And Prahlāda said, yes. Because Hiranyakashipu knew this palace is constructed under my supervision, every atom of this palace holds my glory. There is no Vishnu inside. And so he was like determined to prove that there's no Vishnu, and he attacked, or he just went with his sword and attacked this pillar, tried to break the pillar, and then that was the time Lord Narasimha appeared. And Lord Narasimha was so angry because even Krishna loses patience. Krishna is patience personified, but when his devotees are tortured, then even Krishna loses the patience. So that was the time Krishna became angry. And if we all know how angry we can be, we all, of course, we will not identify how angry we can be. We can always identify how angry our partner can be. Then we can visualize it better. So imagine if that's the anger level we can have, what anger Krishna can hold. So when Krishna came as Lord Narasimha, he was so angry, he was ferocious, he was burning, his eyes are said it was red, he had a long tongue and ears were so big, he had big nails. It was a scary sight. He came out, and eventually after some time he actually took control of Hiranyakashipu, dragged him, took him on his lap and pierced him. It said that he garlanded himself with his intestine. He drank the blood of Hiranyakashipu and threw his heart out from his body. Even after killing Hiranyakashipu in this way, Lord was not pacified. His anger was still there. He was very angry because his devotee was suffering. And this was the time. Now all the demigods, including Lord Brahma, Narad Muni, they all were there. And they tried to pacify Lord Narasimha, because if Narasimha remains Ugra Narasimha, Ugra means ferocious, it can burn entire universe. For some time it was okay, but the heat was immense, and now all the demigods, being the administrators, they were worried this universe will be burnt. And so they think that we have to pacify him, but they were all so scared and afraid of Lord Narasimha. And that was the time. It's like, how we find the best rescue. So they pointed out, they searched who is the best candidate, and the best candidate they could find was Prahlāda Mahārāja, who was just 5 years old. And they all requested Prahlāda Mahārāja to go and pacify Lord Narasimha. And this was the time when Prahlāda was not, even for once he was not scared. And so this is where Prahlāda Mahārāja's prayers comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam has all these pastimes, appearances of different incarnations of Krishna in different ways. And Bhagavatam is filled with these prayers. So one of these prayers are called Prahlāda Mahārāja's prayer to Lord Narasimha. So this is the time when Prahlāda Mahārāja starts offering the prayer. So we went into the pastime bit quickly. We'll meditate on these prayers bit slow, because these are the heart of these pastime. So Prahlāda Mahārāja climbed the stairs. It said that there was a big throne, and Lord was sitting there, still angry. Prahlāda went, and first thing he did, he kept his head at the lotus feet of Narasimha. That's the first sign of surrender. If we want to please Krishna, we have to learn to surrender. Until we are ready to surrender, there is still a lot of ego we are building up. Prahlāda Mahārāja surrendered full mood, and that was the time Narasimha immediately lost all his anger. Just looking at his devotee at his feet, and ferocious form of Narasimha became the calm form of Narasimha. He lifted his hand and blessed, touched the head of Prahlāda Mahārāja. So we sing this Narasimha Arti. In some of you must be knowing. It says, Tava kar kamala vare nakham adbhuta shringar dadita hiranyakashipu tanu bhiringa. So it says Tava kar kamala vare nakham. So from kar means hand. From his hand he gives blessing. And what kind of hand it is? Nakham. It's full, big nails are there, but still so what he does, he blesses with that hand, with that palm, and also protects the devotee from those nails. So Krishna is not coming to kill demons actually. He can send anyone to kill demons. Why he has to come personally? He comes personally only for his devotee, to bless them and to protect them. He loves that personal exchange. So Narasimha Dev blessed him, and that was the time Prahlāda Maharaj, just by touch of Lord, he got that energy inside him. This happened to Dhruv Maharaj also. If some of you have heard the past time when Lord Vishnu touched his conch shell to Dhruv, even Dhruv got enlightened. And this was the time Prahlāda Maharaj started shaking, his voice started faltering, and he was clueless what to say. Many times we think, when Krishna will be here, I'll do this. When Krishna will be here, I'll do that. But we have no clue what we will do when Krishna will be there. Same thing happened to Prahlāda, and then he starts offering the prayer. Now it's a very beautiful sequence if we can just pay attention how Prahlāda Maharaj beautifully does it. So first thing he says is that I have no qualification to offer you any prayer because I am born in a demoniac family. I have no qualification. There are many, many sages, demigods. They are so qualified. They are trying to offer you the prayers and you are still not pleased. How can I please you? What it shows is the humility. Many times we think that whatever prayers we are doing, and we immediately ask, many times we say, when we will see Krishna? Where is God? Is there a proof there is a God? Show us the God. Is this humility? We offer prayer one day, 2 day, and 3rd day we want to see Krishna. No. We have to have that humility that I am not qualified to see Krishna, but still Krishna I want to see you. That humility should be there, and that was Prahlāda Maharaj's mood, that I have no qualification to offer him prayers. How can I offer him prayers? And then he goes on. He says that it's not your anger that's disturbing me actually. I'm not scared of your red, ferocious eyes or your red blood drinking tongue or your big nails or your teeth or the garland of intestine you are wearing. Of course, these all prayers are in Sanskrit, but if sometime we get chance, this is how the flow is. He says that you are wearing the garland of intestine, nothing is disturbing me. What bothers me is, what if you will not give me your shelter? That's what bothers me. So a 5-year-old was able to understand what is most troubling situation in the life, not to get shelter of Krishna, not anything else. And that's what he said, that was bother me, that what if I'm after getting shelter of so many people, so many situations, so many things of this world. What if I get everything but I don't get your shelter? My life will be waste. And that's the time Narasimha Dev says, why you need my shelter? Now your demoniac father is gone. He was a king. Of course, he had a lot of opulence. Everything is yours now. You have everything to enjoy. Just enjoy this world. Why you need my shelter? To this, Prahlāda Maharaj says, you are asking me to enjoy this world. This world is like a desert. And happiness in this world is like a mirage. We all understand this. What is desert? What is mirage? So you are asking me to enjoy the material world, which is a desert, and happiness in this world is a mirage, and happiness exists only in Shruti. Shruti means something in hearing. Only by hearing we feel there is a happiness. But when one tries to enjoy it, he is bound to get frustrated. There is no happiness in this world. And it's not a pessimistic prayer Prahlāda Maharaj is offering. Prahlāda Maharaj was not a depressed child. Children cannot go into depression actually. So it was not a prayer out of frustration. It's a prayer out of knowledge which he received by touch of the Lord. So he says, you want me to enjoy this world? It is said that this world is like, this is what Prahlāda Maharaj says, this world is like a honeycomb. And to enjoy honey or happiness of this world, one has to take sting of bees, thousands of bees, to get one honey drop. You want me to lick that honey? There's a one beautiful pastime, which is related to this, what Prahlāda Maharaj is saying. It says, it's related to that, so I'm just able to recall that line. So there's a boy. We'll come back to Prahlāda Maharaj, just trying to connect here. So this boy is in the forest and is running because there is a big tiger chasing him. And he's just running. And in front of him, he finds a tree which was had a branch, but it was quite bent. And just to protect himself, he climbed on the tree and was hanging on that branch. But because his weight was too much and branch was slightly weak, it just bent too much. And now by holding that branch actually leaned, and under that there was a well. So now tiger is outside, he's holding that branch and he's literally hanging, and below there is a well. And in that well, there are many, many snakes. Now he's seeing, oh Krishna, if I fall down, there are snakes. If I climb up, there's a tiger. Let me hang. This hanging is the best position. Happily hanging. And then he sees that big rats, white and black, starts crawling towards him on that branch. And they starts actually eating that branch. So that branch is bound to fall down anyway. But let me still hang. It is nice. And then out of all this drama, he sees that there is a honeycomb. And in that honeycomb, there's a drop by drop honey is falling. And suddenly he forgets everything. The tiger, the rats, the snakes. Let me lick or drink that honey. And he's trying to lick that one drop at a time. And when he's trying that, these bees are actually biting his entire face. So what this pastime actually represents is our situation. That boy is all of us jivas. And that tiger represents the time, eternal time. It's running behind us. With every passing day, we are one day closer to our death, which is the fact, which is the ultimate truth. So that tiger is the time, and that well represents this material world, which is filled with snakes. And snakes represents actually the death. When you fall down, the death is there at the end. These white rat and black rat represents day and night. And this branch represents, in a way, our life. So this day and night are eating our life slowly and gradually. But then what this honeycomb and honey represent is the best thing, enjoyment in this world. Whatever we are trying to enjoy, that licking one drop by a drop, we are just happy licking that drop. And if that drop is scarce, if it becomes less, we crave for that drop. We want that drop. Despite of everything we are seeing around, we are understanding, but we still want that drop. So this is what Prahlāda Maharaj says, that you want me to enjoy this material world? I really don't think so. This is something I'm interested in. He said, Lord, if you want to give something, just give me one benediction, that let me serve my Guru Maharaj. Let me serve my Guru, and by serving my Guru, I want to serve you. So I want to serve you indirectly. Give me that benediction. And now Lord is like, what? You don't want to serve me directly? And why you want to serve your Guru? It's me. I have come to rescue you. And I'm here who protected you, and you want to serve your Guru and not me directly. So could this Prahlāda Maharaj says that, Lord, you have taken many incarnations. Many times you are coming. And even I am coming again and again, lifetime after lifetime. What went different in this lifetime is, I happen to come in association of my Guru Narada. And because of whom I got that devotion, that you are here protecting me. You never protected me before in any of your incarnation. I was there suffering somewhere. So it's the Guru who connected me to you. And that's why I want to serve my Guru. So that was Prahlāda Maharaj's realization, how important it is to hold on to our spiritual master and their instructions. And then he doesn't stop here. He says, now Lord is very happy. Yes, I'll give you my services, I'll give you liberation, everything. And here Prahlāda Maharaj says that I don't want to get liberated alone. I just don't want to go alone with you. by looking at people who are still suffering. How can I come with you when there is so much pain in this world? That's what Prahlāda Maharaj is, a 5-year-old, is feeling. He says, at least because of my Guru's mercy, I know what is the ultimate goal, who is you. Because of his mercy, I know what is the path. Maybe I'm not the right follower. Maybe I'm not able to do everything, but still I know you are the goal and you, what is the path. But there are many, many people who even don't know what is the goal of their life. They don't know the path. They don't know anything. How can I come alone with you, leaving them suffering behind? So Prahlāda Maharaj says, I want that benediction that if you want to take me, you have to take everyone else. Or allow me to serve them in such a way so that they can come to you. I don't want to come with you alone. He says that in his prayer, he continues, he compares us, Prahlāda Maharaj, that our situation is like a camel who is in the desert. And in desert, when camel goes out, there are only this spiky and there are not a leafy or greeny vegetation. It's most of the thorns and the spikes and everything. So camel actually eats by mistake. And when he chews these thorns and everything, actually in his tongue, he starts getting the blood. And camel actually tastes his own blood while chewing these whatever plants he is eating. So he says camel thinks this is the taste of these plants or leaves or thorns, whatever I'm eating, but actually he is drinking his own blood. That's the situation of the camel. Camel doesn't know what he's drinking or what he's actually trying to have. So I have to save everyone. So please allow me to serve everyone, stay and bring everyone to you. By hearing this, all these prayers of Prahlāda Maharaj, Paul becomes extremely happy. Looking at his mood, he says, I'm fully satisfied with you. I will give you whatever you have asked so far, but still I want to give you something. One thing you ask for yourself. Then he said, I don't want anything for myself. Lord further pushes him that he thinks and said, okay, if you have to give me something, please liberate my father, Hiranyakashipu. He was a demon. He did lots of bad deeds in his life. Please liberate him. As a son, it's my responsibility. And to that, Lord says, don't worry about him. In any family where there is a devotee born, his 21 generations are liberated. So because of you, your entire 21 generations are liberated. So your father is one of that generation. He said, oh, that's fine. Then Lord says, no, you have to ask something. To that, Prahlāda Maharaj says, okay, if you want to give me something, please, Lord, purify me. Please purify all the anarthas in my heart, all the lust, anger, greed. Whatever I have bad in me, please remove those anarthas from this heart. And Lord says that you are my pure devotee, and a devotee cannot have any anartha. You are already purified. I have no capability to purify you. And then Lord says, please ask something. I have to give me something. And when Prahlāda Maharaj was like hearing this, it's like Lord is pleading him, ask something, ask something. We are like always asking Krishna, I want this, I want that. And what we ask for, if we actually record our demands and we read our demands even after 5 years, we will laugh at our prayers. What kind of thing we actually ask for. So Prahlāda Maharaj says one thing, that Lord, if you really have to give me something, please give me one last boon, that let me never ask anything from you ever again. That was his last prayer, that let me not ask anything from you ever again for myself. So that's the prayer. Prayer should be always for others, not for ourselves. That was Prahlāda Maharaj's mood. Yes, we are not Prahlāda Maharaj. And it's okay to ask, Lord, because as a child, we have to go to our parents asking for things. So, yes, we will go to Krishna. We are not Prahlāda Maharaj. But we can imbibe Prahlāda Maharaj's mood. Or we can pray that today is Narasimha Chaturdasi, that, oh Lord Narasimha Dev, let me give that, please give me that mood of Prahlāda Maharaj. Give me that some percentage of devotion what Prahlāda Maharaj had, and our life will be successful. So that should be our prayer. Instead of asking anything of this world, if we can today ask just devotion from Supreme, that please give me your bhakti, please give me your shelter, please give me that mood that I don't want anything for myself except your lotus feet. If we can ask that, it will be a Narasimha Chaturdashi for us. So I think because we have limited time, we will sing Krishna's name for 5 minutes in the mood of Prahlāda Maharaj. Of course, we don't have that mood, but let's pray while chanting that Krishna gives us that mood of Prahlāda Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Narasimha.